now I get to play the game of, is everything working properly? I do this in the Midnight Suns thing. I do this for Animesplaining. Because if I do not give this preamble, it would not be a show. We are running, and our thingy looks good. So that is the important part. I just do not need to touch Discord. It is on the other screen across the room. So I do not need to touch it at all. It lives over there, kind of like OBS does when I stream Midnight Suns. But yeah, if anyone ends up watching this in the video on demand or currently in streaming, Daisy made this. It's Bella Rosalind Designs. You also can have a fun little tiled format like this. And I only wish I framed us up better, but it is what it is. So, Animesplaining. Anime. It is a thing we continue to watch. We have seen hell rise up in our eyes, and we have eaten many pies. We have rhymed a lot with TION words.
What N words?
TION words, like shun.
Like,
Okay.
Shun.
Yeah, because that's the song. That's the starting
Go
song.
Shun anime.
What, do you want me to just sing the opening song? I'm pretty sure I can.
Hey, one, I will say, this is the best opening song of any show that we have watched in the
Easily.
however long we've done this. So good for you, Youngblood. But I am pretty sure that they were definitely paying him by the hour to very quickly write a song and just get the hell out. I was like, oh, I'm going to download this. This is a good song. It is 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
it is exactly long.
Yeah. Just enough to get the message across. It's like, and credits, and my job is done. All right.
Yep. Like, all right, we're paying you by the hour here, bud. You got to go.
It needs one more verse for that Spotify version. Like, just give me one more verse and I'll be able to work out to this. But no, I can't work out to 2 minutes.
But then they had to spend a lot on their music budget, because then they have One Republic at the end, and that dude writes for everybody. So I didn't see how long that song is, because I don't like it as much. But
I just didn't listen to it.
They just wanted a Britpop aesthetic to this show, I guess, with the front and back.
Is One Republic British?
I'm pretty sure they're both British, both Youngblood and One Republic. Also,
hear it in their voices.
Also, since we were talking wrestling, there was a news story that was announced today that there's an upcoming anime that is being really hyped up called Sakamoto Days, and Alexa Bliss is voicing one of the characters in it.
Ooh. Well, now we're obligated.
Sakamoto Days is basically if John Wick decided to settle down and have a family and also got fat, but was still John Wick. That is probably the best way I can describe this show.
That works. Sounds like a bunch of concepts I've seen already, but all right.
And Daisy has noted that One Republic is American. So I am wrong. They just sound like a British band. Also, once again, thank you for the formatting, tile thing here.
What about Youngblood?
Youngblood is British.
Okay.
I'm about 80% sure they are British.
Watch it be Danish or Canadian.
Be British.
No, the only Danish band is Poets of the Fall, and they just show up for Alan Wake and Remedy Studios video games. But anyway, yes, the song is a banger. I actually like both songs, to be honest, but this is not a skip intro show.
The opening credits are cool. Just how they do the animation with the whole weird kaiju thing just crawling at you and looking
gross,
looking like a monster and looking cool.
Your episode
that one does not
kaiju.
look gross. The other ones look gross. This one does not look gross. It just looks like a monster.
I don't know, that one with the human face does look kind of gross. Like the little mushroom guys don't look gross until they're
human
like
face. Yeah, most of them are pretty gross.
But anyway, so Joey, this is a show by Production IG, the makers of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, our previous show. This has been out, 15 years later at this point, because Ghost in the Shell was like 2006.
Yeah.
So this show is fairly new. So 2021.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what is your overall opinion? Because this is definitely funnier than Ghost in the Shell. It has jokes in it.
Yeah.
What a bar to clear. Yay. This one isn't just society is crap. And we're on our way to bigger crap.
No, society is crap is just the subtext of the show.
No, this
we
one
learned subtext in the past 20 years.
Again, this show is just does whatever IG make Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, they do not. That's Mappa.
Okay, so this was a competitive answer to Jujutsu Kaisen because it is the same show. It is. Like we have a school where we train people to fight these monsters.
Okay.
And then we'll send you out there, and if you die, we'll try to protect you. But if you die, hey, all for the good of the Corps, the army, whatever we're in.
Yeah, but that's most shonen though. Wasn't that also My Hero Academia? The Demon Slayer, like most shonen have schools.
My Hero Academia, I pushed out of my brain.
I'm surprised that wasn't your first example.
Demon Slayer was not a school. He was just taught by some random dude that's traumatized.
It's school adjacent.
This is like a military academy. It's like the Air Force or the Marines or something.
Yeah, like Jujutsu Kaisen.
A specific rim.
Jujutsu Kaisen, they are high schoolers, and this one, the main character's 32.
Yes, and then they all call him old man. Yep. Because
are you sad that this show just made you feel old, Joe?
He's so young and cool. Oh, I wish I was so young and cool. I hate the wine.
Which character is that?
But going back, like this, like now I've lost my train of thought because I was going to say something about.
Sorry, he's old.
I think that show is.
He's the old man of this podcast. He forgets things.
I do.
Joey's sundowning already.
Too many things in my brain to remember about this show that I was just like, dumb. But again, Jujutsu Kaisen, like, okay, we're gonna turn off your shields. Here's your training mission, just like Jujutsu Kaisen. Here is your, and then like we're gonna schedule you to go into the city and fight. By the way, we want to be secretive, just like Jujutsu Kaisen, and we're gonna go into the city and like clear out all the people, but you're judged on the amount of damage that the city area takes because we want to do this quietly. Again, like Jujutsu Kaisen.
They don't really do
My
it
Hero Academia
quietly,
too.
Though. Like they're basically celebrities. Like they go like, oh, there's a kaiju here. Which division do you think is going to show up this time? If anything, it is a melding of like My Hero Academia, where they are just celebrities, and like a Ghost in the Shell adjacent. Like this is just a bunch of like kaiju cops.
There was, I will say, it was funny when it's the same episode. I remember because they're like, okay, you're judged on the amount of damage that the city is going to take. And then while they're fighting, like 5 minutes later, you see this dude go across like 4 city blocks, just taking shit out. Like, how is that not an instant fail? Oh, you only instant fail if you die. Like, cool. Yay. Otherwise, I got to keep trying to die. This is stupid.
Well, yeah. You guys get infinite chances. That suit's awesome.
Plus, I mean, again, with a show like Kaiju No. 8, I was hoping for Pacific Rim. I was hoping for what has now become more of the popular culture, at least here on the Western side, idea of what kaiju are. just a whole bunch of robots fighting Godzilla. And I did not get. I only got one Godzilla. Really, only one kaiju gets really, really big, and they kill him with a gun. Cool.
It was a big gun.
And they're like, he'll be back.
That's a fair argument, though.
Kaiju number 10 will be back.
Yeah, we had Kaiju number 10, and we had the big mushroom deal. I feel like we have the decent amount of large kaijus, so we can't keep using nothing but large Godzilla-sized ones, or else it'll be kind of overdone. We need our mid-sized kaiju. We need our, like, the center of the earth ones in the recent Kong movies. Like, they're not all huge Kong Godzilla size. I just have some regular big ones. And I appreciate that they vary in scope in this. So you have the one that starts off pretty much Power Ranger sized, and then he grows, and I'd have to figure out how to defeat that sucker. It keeps the action going, and there's never a slow moment in this. There's never a lull like Demon Slayer will just lull for like 4 episodes straight. There's not really a moment to breathe.
Yeah,
honestly, I like it for it.
To put on my fedora for a little bit, the direct translation of kaiju is just strange creature. It is not big creature. It is strange creature.
Yeah.
And I do agree that some of the kaiju designs are kind of lackluster, mainly the giant birds. What if a bird was big?
They're like Rodan.
Yeah.
I thought that was supposed to be like a callback to Rodan.
And then there's a bunch of them, and they turn into a bomb that gives us drama that is all of 5 minutes.
I mean, I do like the idea. Which one is the mushroom guy? Is that Kaiju number 9?
That's number 9, yeah.
Yeah, that's number 9.
Number 9. And then, like, I like the idea of, like, kind of the Gremlins idea, where, like, he can just mass reproduce throughout, so then they're chasing off the little mushroom guys while they're trying to fight him because he's the main one. I do like that idea of, like, what if like, take this Gremlins idea of what if the monsters we're fighting aren't just Gremlin size? What if they're big? Like,
yeah,
that could go somewhere, but then again, Kaiju number 8 just attacks guy, beats him easily, and then he's supposed to be the big bad guy later. Cool.
Like, it does open up something, though. But look, it does open up something that I've noticed, that you always get like a human-sized kaiju, and then this massive army that follows them. So I feel like that's a really cool concept. Like, you have your boss character and then his minions. You have your general and then the army behind him. That's really cool. And it also implies that Kaiju number 8 has one of its own somewhere out there. We just haven't seen it yet.
Shouldn't Kaiju number 8 have had I guess he does have an army behind him, but it's who he's training with. So
yeah, I'm sure he has like an actual Kaiju army somewhere out there. But so far, the mushroom guys had an army and the flying guys had an army. And I hope they keep that pattern going, because I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I will say the artwork, like Kaiju number 8, does look cool when he turns into the Kaiju. Like,
yeah, when he goes all black and
I like kind of like cool skeleton look.
Venom Godzilla.
Yeah.
He is
Venom Godzilla merged with a symbiote.
Yeah, he's
although I do like, and I also like the last episode where they're trying to portray him as like still holding on to some semblance of humanity, so they give him like the broken mask in the eye type thing. Like that.
Like it's just Tom Hardy under here.
Yep, exactly.
So you're coming around, and let's be relatively fair to this show. This is 12 episodes long. By episode 12 of Demon Slayer, we only get to the one drum demon, really.
Yeah. And
Tanjiro, up to that point, there are dramatic fights against the demons, but the truly, like, big, like, oh, this is where the show gets good is against the Spider Family. Up until that point, it's just like, oh, I see the opening thread, and suddenly the bad guy is decapitated.
Disagree, because right away in Demon Slayer, you get he's going through the weird training realm Netherworld, where you get the Munch demon that he has to fight for like 2 days, because he has to learn to cut the boulder in half. And then
they got to run through for like 8 episodes of training before you get to anything good.
But that was the good one. That's like 4 episodes in.
Yeah, the training arc lasted 3 episodes, and frankly, I think that's a plus.
Yeah, let's just get to the point here.
Because don't get me wrong, there's other parts of Demon Slayer compared to this that are vastly underwhelming. Like while the fights in the Entertainment District set or season are okay, pretty good, the rest of it is just like crap. And then, or you get what was the Swordsmith Village? All of that was crap. You could have tossed that entire. Well, Entertainment District was bad.
That's
too,
the
right?
rhythm of the show I've noticed though. Like it's just here's a bunch of slow slog episodes, and then really awesome ones to hook you in, and then we're back to just a slow slog again. They keep Game of Thronesing me over and over again.
Yeah, but what
Well,
fight? What fight in Kaiju number 8 really is that memorable?
all
Like-
of them?
Really? I like the fight with
Maybe
number
the
9,
last
and I like the
part-
fight with his boss's boss's boss.
Right.
His
The
boss
one that's
is
clearly
the
supposed to be
last
General
episode?
Sam Lane from Superman
Yeah,
Adventures.
Yeah, the like blonde Aryan guy.
With
Yeah.
the beard that covered too much of his face.
Like I would say, maybe that one's the one I remember the most, just because of recency bias. The only other one I can think of is when he fights Kaiju number 9, but it feels kind of underwhelming because he just kicks his ass. So it's like, and then it's over in like an episode.
It's about the drama, though. The drama in that, like,
No. Like I will say, in Demon Slayer, fights can last like up to 3 episodes at least. This
Right.
one is just like,
You got a
okay,
place to be. Just get to it. You gotta go.
Joey, if you are talking about length of episodes being drama in a fight, we are going to watch the non-DBZ Kai version of Frieza against Goku, and you will do a complete 180 on the length of the fight equals drama.
I don't want to watch Dragon Ball Z ever in my life.
When the character says you have 3 minutes before the planet explodes, and then it proceeds to take 45 episodes for the fight to end.
It's a lot of after school.
The sad thing is that's a commentary on you both, because you both probably watched those whole 45 episodes, didn't you?
100%. Multiple times over. Because they would just stop airing new episodes and just repeat those same episodes. Usually at a really dramatic point in the fight. So in case the new episodes came back, I had to keep watching. And they just stuck the episodes in. I don't want to miss the new episodes and just miss, right? They wouldn't advertise it. So no, that's how they got us, and that's how it still works.
Yep, Goku turns Super Saiyan, and then we go right back to the Saiyan saga, and he's facing Vegeta. It's like, yeah, this is... I just wasted my life.
Like, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a shonen?
Yes.
Or is that just... Okay.
Yeah. It's making
Like-
fun of shonen, but it's a shonen.
Yeah, so I mean, like, that's probably still the peak of any kind of shonen anime we've watched so far. I'm trying to think of
It's
one
a
better.
parody. This is,
Oh,
he
okay,
doesn't like
fair.
shonen.
Okay. Maybe that's just a commentary on me with anime then. That
Yeah,
I like
like,
the parody.
you're
I
not
like
good.
the parody shonen better than the actual shonen.
What? We need to watch One Punch Man then eventually.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There-
I feel
there's
like
a
you like
lot
that
of
one because there's no
episodes.
school involved in that. They haven't found a way to include a school anywhere in that.
There's a Hero Academy, like, organization thing, though.
Yeah. So they're all kind of the same. But even One Punch Man is a parody.
Joey, is it refreshing to have a character that is older as your protagonist? Like, is it good to not have a 16-year-old as your protagonist? Is Kafka a realistic 32-year-old?
Realistic? I don't know about that. I don't know about a lot of
I think he's
people in
lying
their
about that.
30s just like you probably don't get a lot of people in their 30s just like, I'm just going to randomly enlist in the military. It happens. I'm not denying that, but it's just not something you see every day. It's an
That's
interesting
part of the
thing.
joke. So that works.
Yeah, I can tell you there's a long-running cop show where the entire conceit is that the character's in his 40s and he joins the police academy.
But then, okay,
It stars Nathan Fillion,
Kafka's-
and it's on ABC.
how old is Mina then?
I think she's like 2 years younger than Kafka is.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's look this up.
That makes it a little bit, because I mean I read her as the primary love interest, right?
Yeah, she is.
More-
And
so-
I think she's totally gonna bite it. I'm calling
But
it
she
right
has she's not training. She's been part of the group for some time.
Mina is 27.
Wow, that's a
5 years.
difference.
That's fine. I mean, at 27, 20, that's fine.
As an adult, that's fine. Yeah.
Like, as long as you're both of
Still
legal
consenting
drinking age,
adults,
really,
that's
then
fine.
yeah.
5 years is a fine difference.
Yeah. Age difference
27,
becomes
32?
less of a thing once you both reach drinking age, and then once you're both past like able to rent a car age, then things get.
We're all allowed to just stop giving a shit.
As long as
Whatever.
as long as you're keeping it within a decade, and it's usually
The
We're on to
ongoing
another
rule is
subject
half
now.
your age plus 7 is like the
Yeah.
8+7.
It's a good one. I think it's a good rule. Thank you, Barney Stinson.
But no, I mean, like, as far as like the story to tell, I mean, I know they ragged on him like the whole show, but I mean, there's still this stupid dialogue of like, "Oh my god, he's so young and so cool." Blah. Like, okay, would a 30-year-old talk like that? Ideally, no. Or like when right after he fights
Which Karen,
Kaiju
when did he
number
say that?
9, and Kaiju number 9 just conveniently disappears into the whatever nether realm he's in. And he has to fight the one dude. He's like, "Oh, I can see his grin under his mask. He's so cool. God, he's so cool. I love anime. It's so cool."
He
Duh.
never said that.
Everyone is a bastard or an idiot. Otherwise, they're so cool. Oh my god, that woman is so hot. Oh, she's so cute. Why am I thinking of? Oh no, I didn't think she was cute. You're mean. You're mean.
I would
hate
record
it.
it. Tony
What?
be here.
Why does every anime have to have the stupidest goddamn dialogue every single show? The reason, like,
That's true.
sadly, Grave of the Fireflies has been my favorite one that we've watched, more or less not because it's necessarily an anime. The only reason why I feel it's truly animated is because if you made that live action, people would, like, want to leave and hurt themselves because it's so depressing. At least if you make it a cartoon, you're not making real life actors portray this terrible sadness.
I will say I think you are
not this.
I think you are underselling the dialogue in some of the other things we watched, like Paranoia Agent, even Gundam the Origin. Like, I think has very good dialogue. You just want realism is the problem, and the shonen anime is very much not based in realistic dialogue. Their goal is for lowest common denominator. You need 6-year-olds to understand what's going on. And
it's a sound adult, but not just enough adult.
I mean, like, I would like this. I'll give you both this. I would like this at 14 years old because that is exactly what I would be. That's exactly the dialogue in my head at 14 years old.
Right. They take that as a win. Mm-hmm. You're in the target audience.
I will say this, and it goes back to something that I've said when we've talked about anime before, mainly in our Suzume episode, which is that anime needs to learn to shut the hell up. Because there are certainly times where, like, the character will say something that we can just plainly see is happening on the screen, and I don't like that. I think that localizers need to learn when they need to, like, make the series better, because if a character is not actively talking on screen and you can see what's plainly going on screen, you don't need the voiceover of the character to say what the character is doing. Just have them shut up. Just show what the character's doing.
Just make up new dialogue if you have to. Have them talk about something else. But I could see what's happening.
The only difference I would say there, as long as they're explaining their actions, but usually they're not explaining whatever action they're doing on screen. They're just narrating their actions. So in that case, I would completely agree with you.
But at the same time, I like Kafka as a character, and I like him more than Tanjiro, because I like that there is an anxiety to Kafka's character of I am in my quarter age crisis, or just beyond my quarter age crisis. He's almost a midlife crisis at this point, and he's in, effectively, we see in an episode, kind of a dead-end job of just cleaning up kaiju, but he enjoys it because this is shonen anime, and we need to tell you that you need to be a good worker for Japanese society.
I mean, he does have the pent up anxiety, like I'm never good enough, like, and I need to do more to prove I'm good enough.
I think that that is like that captures being in your 30s, where you feel like you have enough experience to impart onto people, but then you see a 20-year-old who's like in a better life position than you, and you're like, oh fuck.
I wish I had things figured out at 18. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the entire show, and that's why it's so good. It's just that concept, but it actually bits thrown in.
Yeah,
It's that concept, but let's shoot a thing occasionally.
Yeah, instead of Kafka winning the lottery, he got a monster form, and he can now like punch things really hard. That is what this show is. Now what does he do with this? What does he do with the great power and the ensuing great responsibility of now having his dream job, and his love interest is still incredibly cold to him, to the point that I really hate his love interest.
That's what it is. You just don't like her. She's just doing her job, damn it. Yes, she has to be stone
begins
cold.
to like him. She feels for him at the end because one, he's fighting her dad, so like the rebellion she never had. Great.
The blonde
And then,
one.
oh wait, which one are we talking about then?
I'm talking about Mina is the black-haired one. The like
childhood
the
friend.
mega
Boss.
yeah.
The boss. Okay.
The-
Then who's the blonde one? I
I-
thought Mina's the blonde one.
No, I forget her name, but she's like she's the young prodigy person.
Okay.
Lady with axe is
Because
Axe girl.
like I got like the one I got at the end, like she begins to like the dude at the end, the blonde one does, because he's fighting her dad.
Oh, she
And
always
she
like
still sees his humanity, even though he's heartless. Doesn't have a heart at its core. What does that tell you? Warriors got to be heartless. Got to be heartless to work in this army. But at the same time, if you're heartless, I'm going to kill you because it means you're bad.
Heart, not in my army. Get that shit out of here.
Like you're a weapon. You're a weapon for us to use.
and I like that aspect of it. He gets his dream job, and at the end of the day, even in your dream job, even being able to like be respected amongst your coworkers, your boss's boss's boss will dispatch you in a heartbeat and turn you into a thing. He will turn you into a weapon.
They didn't want to turn him into a weapon at first. They wanted to slaughter him. You are expendable.
What is that?
You are just a cog in the wheel, my guy. But
Someone in
you
their
prove,
40s wrote this.
but you prove your value because you can fight, and thus, because I hated at the last episode. It was like, hey, I'm taking it easy on him, so I want to see what he does. So I'm specifically taking it easy on him instead of killing him.
That was bullshit.
No.
I
almost
He almost killed you?
Yeah.
like no, just let this guy be a dick. Like let let the big boss just be a terrible person. Don't do this thing where it's like, oh, but he secretly feels things deep down. No, sometimes bastards are just bastards. Anime.
Yeah.
You don't have to like your superiors.
But
you don't have to.
Please do not shoot Shinjo Abe with a homemade shotgun, is what this show says. But
Can go the other way. We can just declare martial law on your entire society. Different area.
Show's good.
So, Marla and I were talking today about this, and I gave this statement. Zack Snyder would probably have more fun with Demon Slayer than he would with Kaiju number 8. But James Gunn would have more fun with Kaiju number 8 than he would Demon Slayer. Do you
disagree?
Agree? No, you think
I think it's the other way around.
I think it's the other way around too. Because James Gunn would enjoy the dialogue more and the playfulness of Demon Slayer more. This one's not nearly as playful. This one's just all like this one's more backdrop and just taking in just like a little more atmosphere like that dark atmosphere. This felt way more Zack Snyder than James Gunn. James Gunn,
Right.
I think if you give James Gunn Demon Slayer, like you'd get a little more personality with Chandro, which would be a good thing, but you'd still get the goofiness. You would what's the boarhead dude? Inosuke,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
Inosuke, and then blonde hair guy, Zenitsu. You would
I
get
feel
them
like
the exact same.
I kind of want it now because I feel like if you put James Gunn with Demon Slayer against swearing kids, it'd just be a bunch of violent swearing kids, and I kind of want that to exist now.
James Gunn
He would
would
best turn up the gore.
James Gunn would cast actual like young teenagers to be in Demon Slayer. In this, he would age everyone up. Like like everyone would suddenly be in like their 40s and 30s in Kaiju number 8 if James Gunn was
I don't know.
casting this.
I don't know, because if you want to play off the age gap that the main character has, then I do feel like James Gunn would play on like let's have you play alongside a lot of like 16 to 8-year-old kids, like portraying them as like these newcome warriors, and then you're the 30-year-old that just gets frustrated with them and punches them in the face.
That was my issue with the show. Generally, I get what they were going for with cadets generally being around like 18, 20 and such. But these felt like teenagers, like fresh out of the 8th grade teenagers. And there's a grown man hanging out of them. So I feel like aging them up would be the best move. Like 32 is not old enough for this guy. You got to put him in his early 40s.
The first army dude he fights, the one that he says is grinning under his mask, that's like the super elite warrior, does feel very young.
Right. He's like, I don't think he's old enough to drink on this show. And that's ridiculous to me. If they're supposed to be these veterans who are so skilled at their crafts, they should have them in their mid-20s, maybe late 20s. And if that's the case, this guy now has to be aged up. But to have them be straight up teenagers, it's a trend in shonen I've never gotten behind. Like you saw it in My Hero Academia as well. And we're just talking about Demon Slayer. They don't always have to be teenagers.
Is like at least East Asia, or at least just Japan by itself, like is the prime of your life looked at as like 18 years old or even younger?
Pretty much.
Whereas here it's like maybe mid-20s, maybe even a little older.
I feel like in Asia, everything that matters about life is before you start working. Like, I feel like that's everything that's important. Once you start working, it's like, all right, just do your job, keep your head down, just you don't matter anymore. Like, it's just a cog in the wheel, just doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because I noticed that in their media, at least in the anime we watch, it's never been about the job. It's been about getting to the job or getting a job. But once you have the job, the story is over. So they don't give a shit about you once you have the job.
I mean, that's an entire conceit for one of the shows that came out this, or was it last year, or technically 2 years ago? But Zom 100, where like there's a zombie apocalypse, but the guy has worked for like a really toxic Japanese company, so he's like, oh, this is actually pretty great. I don't need to go to work today.
Yeah, it's pretty much Zombieland. Zombieland in a different location.
Zom 100 is basically Zombieland, but it's also not very good, unfortunately. It has like a very good like first 2 episodes, and then it just completely falls apart.
Yeah, it's a shame. Well, I'll give Dan to Dan a shot.
Dan to Dan. I mean, so I'm up to like 5 episodes in Dan to Dan, and that's another one where it's just like
I turned that on accidentally because of you, because you must have been watching it, and I was like, oh, just hit the continue watching button, and it somehow moved from number 8 to freaking Dan to Dan. I'm like, what the freaking crap is this show?
You would not like Dan to Dan.
Stupid kid in a school talking about
drugs.
The same dialogue I was complaining about earlier.
Not talking about drugs. His dick is stolen. That's the entire conceit of the show.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they were probably. I feel like they were high riding it.
His dick.
So it's worse.
His dick is stolen by a ghost.
Yep. That concept keeps tricking me into watching it. I want to watch it every time you say that. It's such a convincing concept.
Aren't we watching next a show that's called Bastard?
No, it's Bastard. You need to make sure to have those 2 exclamation points on it, Joe.
Bastard.
That's gonna be terrible.
It might be good.
We're due a change of pace show. Maybe a Marlin change of pace show.
That was my change of pace show.
All this other
Expected
show
past qualities.
that we've watched, because it feels like we're not on fire lately.
Well, we
outside of like Wolf's Rain had the cool song. See, okay, so that's the other thing. Going back to the song, Wolf's Rain has that Stray song lasts 5 minutes long. Like just when you think it's over, it goes for another 2 minutes. Like the entire length of the stupid beginning of this song by Youngblood.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Why'd you turn it off? You can just play us out. I mean, by the time we finish recording, it'll finally be over in about 15 minutes.
Because I only have that one sound clip on the soundboard. And we've been very sci-fi heavy, so but Joey, you're not for season 2 of Kaiju number 8?
Is it already out?
It's out in April.
Oh. I mean,
the two things we are
like,
guaranteed this year are a second season of Kaiju number 8 and at least one Demon Slayer movie.
I didn't hate this like I hated My Hero Academia. And the only reason I even remember My Hero Academia right now is because Marlon said it.
Can you block that out of your memory?
Specifically push that out. This one, like, again, it's another one like Ghost in the Shell where I can, like, have it on in the background and, like, loosely pay attention and be like, okay, like, this goes fast. I can watch certain parts of it. Like, I give it crap for the fights compared to Demon Slayer because Demon Slayer does have better fights, but the fights in this aren't bad. Like, especially that last episode. The last episode, the fight is cool. So,
excellent fights, exactly.
Like, there's some concessions I will make for this show, but there's, again, I still feel like false advertising. I heard one thing, and that's what I expected, and I got this. And I don't care if it was a manga for so long, and I should have known, because, Joe, this has been in contemporary culture for however long. I don't care. I'm just hearing of it now. And I was expecting something else.
I wanted giant monsters. Instead, I just got slightly large monsters.
I wanted robots. That I just get army people that act like robots. Boo.
That's exclusively, funny enough, a Pacific Rim thing. Like, you'd think that concept would have been in anime for years, decades. Nope. Pacific Rim was the first one to think, let's have a monster fight a kaiju. Have a kaiju fight the robot. And that's why it's the only thing you could find with that in it.
Well, other than, like, Voltron and things like that, because they were fighting giant monsters.
Other than Sentai,
and then we tried...
You can find it out there.
And then Netflix made, like, the Pacific Rim anime, but that one's not good.
It isn't.
Well, and then they made Pacific Rim 2, and that was also not good.
I haven't watched the Terminator anime either, which is by Production IG as well, but I think that we put on the back burner. I think we're a little burned out on Production IG, I think.
They do Castlevania as well.
Who makes Bastard?
Bastard, I think, is Mappa.
Hey, you're supposed to say Bastard.
But I was more confused by who makes it. So 1 second here.
Marlon, have you seen this Bastard show?
I have not. I only know of the name.
Okay.
Because the name is hilarious.
It's made by Linden Films, and I think the opening convinced you because the opening is god awful.
So metal. It's just hair metal.
Metal.
It's.
I want metal.
It's hair metal.
I want bad '80s hair band. Give me it all.
No,
it looks like an Adult Swim show that's making fun of shows like this, but it is the show like this.
We like the opening to Kaiju number 8. All of that is just pop punk or punk pop or whatever the hell you want to call basically MGK or Youngblood or any of that.
Joey, I've watched 2 episodes of Bastard, and I don't think you want to watch this around the kids. This may be the horniest show we have ever watched.
I'm going to love this show.
I mean, I'm at home during the day with most of these episodes I watch with Jace, and Jace is 2. Like, what's he gonna see? Now, I will say, if Jace suddenly at 2 years old just starts walking around and humping things, I will accept that as job well done. Because that
At
will be
how
fun.
old?
Jace is 2.
Oh, yeah, that's a fine age to start.
And CJ wouldn't care. I mean, CJ's 9, but he's nonverbal. He wouldn't understand. He already goes around humping things anyway. So don't make it that big.
What boys do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to teach them about boundaries at some point because they're just not going to stop.
No, it won't.
But yeah, I distinctly know, just so you kind of know what you're in for, that bastard does have a scene where there is one of the female lead characters is put into a dungeon where she is attacked by a slime monster that eats your clothes first.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those.
So it's straight out of Pornhub.
It's just someone watched heavy metal as a kid and it just stuck with them and they said, I can do this with better animation.
I mean, we all watched heavy metal when we were in teens. So I can't.
My favorite movie for the longest while.
I mean, Oh,
it's cartoons.
All right.
Cartoons. They're just cartoons. Why is your door closed?
So, time for scores. This is all of Kaiju number 8 that exists currently, because season 2 is not out until April. So as per usual, the stolen Super Eye Patch Wolf scoring scale of 1 is completely insulting to my intelligence, 2 is bad but with good qualities, 3 is kind of the generalized I liked it statement, or basically I did not feel robbed, 4 is like I liked it, but there are some things that I just can't get past, like this was really, really bad. 5 is good for the genre, 6 is exemplary for the genre, and 7 is so good it has redefined what good is. So, Marlon, what does Kaiju number 8 get for you?
I was going to say 5, but now that you mentioned exemplary for the genre, I think this one's a 6. I think this one sticks out compared to a lot of other shonen that I've forgotten already, and I just don't care about. This one at least had a lead I could care about, a lead I could follow, and side characters I could care about. Compared to something as Ghost in the Shell that kind of built up a status in my brain over the decades, but now watching these back to back, this is miles better. And I feel it's not even close. These characters are way more engaging. I probably remember more of their names. While we got Eye Patch Guy and Chubby Guy and Ghost, we didn't get their names. We didn't care what happened to them. They were just kind of set dressing.
Well, when most of the episodes are, my name is Kafka Hirano,
right? I guess I know that's Kafka, right? That's who that is. He said it.
I just know he's Kafka because I understand that reference.
Yeah, I know what they're going for.
So someone read Metamorphosis, or actually just saw a blurb about Metamorphosis. Is like, guy turns into a bug, so bug kaiju crawls in his mouth and turns him into a kaiju.
Weird.
It's kind of great. Yeah, the music's better in this one. The characters are better in this one. They're way more memorable. The fights are stellar, and it keeps the pace going. I thought there would be a breather episode where I could look at my phone or something. Didn't happen. Never came. Every episode is just balls to the walls action, and every now and then they'll throw in exposition. That's more of that narration you hate while they're fighting. Just throw that at you, and then boom, on to the next fight. When you pick a monster is dead, either there's more monsters or that monster's alive for some reason. And after the animes we've been watching, I can't really hate this one for the pace. This is the best pace we've seen out of anything so far, for me.
Joey, what do you give Kaiju number 8?
What did I give? Do we remember what I gave Demon Slayer season 1?
Demon Slayer season 1, I think you gave a 5.
Mugen Train I probably gave the same, I'd assume. I liked Mugen Train.
Because we saved it until we watched both part 1 and part 2 of it. So we gave Demon Slayer 24 episodes to start.
Then I would give this at least a 4. I'll even be willing to concede up to a 4.5. Again, it's not there's parts I don't like, but to me those parts are pretty much anime as a whole. So it's hard to like just single that out specifically to just this show. But it's entertaining to watch. It's easy to watch. And as my charting alarm goes off for CJ in a second, but it's so I'd say 4.5. There's no real weakness. It's entertaining for what it is.
Yeah. And so I ended up giving this a 6 as well, Marlon. I thought about it, and the only things that I really have against this show in a serious fashion is just that, one, it does not raise the stakes when it had an opportunity to. Demon Slayer has that same problem. You have an opportunity to kill off a character that we really don't care about, but like stands out in our minds because they have a silly hat or a weird hairstyle. And you had a chance and you didn't take it, and quite frankly that is a poor showing on your side. I think if they had either Kaiju number 9 or Kaiju 10 kill someone, I don't think both. I think that's too much. Then this would be approaching more of a 7 territory, because I think that like raises the stakes rather than just like Saturday morning Monster of the Week show.
Well, I do agree, but I watched it a second time and I realized this is absolutely a setup season. I feel like the only reason they haven't killed anyone off is because their real show isn't here yet. Clearly, this guy is going to be some kind of government agent, and that's going to be the bulk of the show. But this is just essentially introducing characters to each other for 12 episodes, including, General Watson's face at the end.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing I will give this show that I do not give Demon Slayer, this show's funny. Like I legitimately liked some of the jokes in this, from like, oh, that is grade A6 Wagyu beef. I didn't even think that exists. And then the subtitle says it actually doesn't. There are things like that legitimately got laughs from me, whereas Demon Slayer has only gotten like one laugh from me in a single season. Like that's about it. Otherwise it's just like cringy as hell. And I appreciate that Kafka as a character in his 30s, like one thing that is there is you're in your 30s, you are cringy, but you don't care that you're cringy. So that he is established as a
he
character.
Definitely cares that he's cringy. When he's sitting in the locker room bath with everybody, and they're all ragging on him.
And they're holding up his stomach.
He
flops it out.
He cares that he's cringy. Is this show? I gave this show crap for being like Jujutsu Kaisen. Is it as popular out east as Jujutsu Kaisen? Because Jujutsu Kaisen is supposed to be popular,
Jujutsu Kaisen is much more popular. It is huge.
Yeah.
And I like this show better than Jujutsu Kaisen, probably in reality. But like, I was just trying to think like.
We also never watched the mainline Jujutsu Kaisen. We only watched the prequel movie. Which was supposed to be a starting off point, but it's actually not, because like, oh, don't you care about these characters? Because they're not really in the show until season 2.
If I don't care about any of these guys, I think I'll take a nap.
Yeah, it's just like if you watch something that's like about like a Bleach season, and it doesn't have like the main character at all. It's just about like the random like soul captains or whatever. Or like you watch the Android Saga, it's like let's see what Dragon Ball Z looks like without Goku.
Has this show reached any level of popularity out there?
It's popular, like it's still going.
It's growing, because didn't it just premiere last year? Like, I remember like we're just getting new episodes as the year was going on recently.
Yeah, the first season came out last year. I think the manga came out the year before.
Yeah. So it's got to build an audience. Remember, these things take multiple seasons. Like Attack on Titan didn't do it in the first season, but after like 4 or 5, it's kind of like a juggernaut.
It's fair. They can't all be on Netflix like Demon Slayer was.
Maybe we got it on the ground floor. Maybe this will have as many episodes as One Piece in 20 years.
Kill me.
That's the fun thing of anime. You never know.
I will probably very much plant a flag here that we will never watch One Piece. It is too much. There's too much show there.
There's too much lore for me. I'm I'm not even reading that first for watching it. I'm not getting through all that.
We're going to go episode by episode through The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I will rewatch all of The Simpsons again before I watch One Piece. Yeah.
That's because later on, at least they're only like, what, 10 episode seasons?
That's true. They're only 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know how long your given One Piece season is. I just don't like the art style in One Piece. That's why I never got into it. But
Yeah, it turned me off of anime completely at that point.
But then you watch some of the fight scenes in One Piece and the animation style completely changes. It's like, oh, this is where all the budget is.
I just misjudged it. It's a combination of that, Ultimate Muscle, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! On Kids WB that made me realize, all right, I think I'm just over anime. Maybe I just can't watch this anymore. And then Cowboy Bebop premiered.
Yeah, and if
Changed
there's anything
everything.
that will cause us to no longer be anime fans, we are watching Bastard next, the first season on Netflix. There,
We be anime fans?
yes, we will no
We-
longer be
we-
anime fans by watching Bastards.
We already aren't anime fans.
You are an anime fan. You like Demon Slayer.
I liked season 1 and 2.
You have a Nezuko keychain.
That's respect for my brother. And it's fun to hold when I'm driving. It's like,
That's what they all say.
I just think, what if I had a little sister on my back?
oh, I'm throwing that away now. I don't want it anymore.
But yes, we will watch Bastard, a show that I showed Tina the opening for, and she's like, "Why are there so many naked people and so many butts?"
And then you're like, let's watch episode 2 for more butts.
So, hooray, hooray! We get to watch some fucking trash.
We get
February
Let's
is the month of
dive
trash.
let's dive all the way into what Joe truly thinks anime is. Yay. All right.
Just watch. You'll come out of this loving it. I'll be the only one who's like, "Oh, this is shit." And then Joey will be
There was
like,
a lot
"Oh."
of reason. There was a lot of reason for that woman to be in that dungeon and have her clothes ripped off.
Joey will just be like, "Oh, what we need to do is we need to watch the Fatal Fury movies. We need to watch Viper GTS." Like,
What the fuck are these?
well, the Fatal Fury movie is based on the fighting game, but but the Fatal Fury movie is also made by a guy who also worked in like hentai, and very much the character designs show that. And Viper GTS is just a hentai made by the same guy.
There's 2 seasons of this.
Straight out of Pornhub. Same thing.
I am locked in.
I am blocked.
But I will get to watching more of Bastard, so we can do that in February, and we'll just know that we are still exploring Midnight Suns on stream whenever we can, as we continue to go through the Marvel universe and be very disappointed.
I feel terrible right now because you know what's going through my head is like, this might be the quickest I finish one of these anime series that we've all put up, because now, like, with all you're talking about Bastard, I'm like, I need to see what this is. How many episodes do I have to watch?
Well, if you finish,
Looking at the thumbnail art, this might be the fastest you finished. Yes.
if you finish early, and I promise that's not a euphemism, we can always do the episode early.
I promise it isn't euphemism.
No, but how many episodes? Like, I'm just curious. Like, do I have to watch 12?
There are 12
'Cause, like,
episodes.
Oh boy.
So
Okay,
episodes.
that's going to be the tough part. Like, if you see 2, like, really, haven't you seen them all when you watch?
No,
porn?
this is not season 1 of Castlevania, where there's 3 episodes. It's like, that's it?
Call that a season. The office of animes.
But yeah, so we'll continue to do Midnight Suns on weekends to just keep that train going until that game's finally done and off my plate.
Some of you Brits like it for some reason. You guys are into this shit.
And otherwise, like I said,
Indiana,
Bella
Indiana
Rosalind
Jones.
Designs made this lovely design that we have. Unfortunately, whenever I use Discord, it breaks it. Like if I hit the soundboard button, you can now see the soundboard on here. So I can hit the stray button, and it plays the stray stray thing.
You laugh. I'm gonna listen to that as soon as we're done.
I'm sorry. You might as well just listen to Abyss because that's a much better song.
Yeah, and it's 2 minutes long. Like, cool, that's it. Like, why don't I just listen to like the opening from Frasier?
Oh, I guess you should listen to One Republic because
That
this
is a better
episode is
song.
ending. So you need to listen to the One Republic. No one can do the things you do.
Why don't we just listen to the opening of Smallville again? Although Stray made me do that last week, so it's fine.
Again, a better song than Stray.
Agreed. I'm not
Listen to
denying
that
that. But I still like Stray. Still good.
You are going
It's
to
still a
like
women's
Bastard,
product.
and I'm going to be very disappointed in you.
I don't.
Anyway, that's Animesplaining. We'll be back to watch some trash. This channel will be back to play some Midnight Suns. And like I said, Bella Rosalind Designs. If you feel like you need a fun little like layout thing like this was, she's great. Daisy, you're great. So have a great day.
Thank you, Daisy.
We're out of here.